Hi VC, Dave back with you. I'm doing something that I haven't done on the VC for a long time, and that is a response video. There's a thread going around at the VC at the moment. I just became aware of it when I saw James Buttery's video. The thread is showed 10 artists whom you've seen live in concert. 10 artists or 10 bands. And the thread was started. I actually have Joe Black Beans and Rice is the person who instigated this thread. I'm not really familiar with them, but I've been kind of quiet on the VC lately. But yeah, it's nice to do these kind of threads now and again and keep in with the kind of VC spirit. But yeah, 10 acts I've seen live. Yes, that's an interesting one. I think I'll start off with. I'm from here in Cork, in Ireland, as you know. There were some iconic concerts that I missed. For instance, Nirvana played their very first concert in Europe, here in Cork, just down the road from me in 1991, when they were still relatively, they were still unknown. They were playing support to Sonic Youth, but I didn't see that. Apparently there were like only a couple of hundred people at it. There was just one. That's one I didn't see. Sorry. Okay, the ones I did see, right, it might be a good idea to start with. Yeah, I'll start with a local Cork band, Micro Disney, led by Cathal Coughlan and Sean O'Hagan, who respectively, Cathal Coughlan is probably better known for his involvement in his post-Micro Disney band, Fatima Mansions. Anyway, Micro Disney formed in Cork in 1980, and they put out this album in 1985 on Rough Trade Records. The Clock Comes Down the Stairs. They split up in around 88, but they reformed quite recently, maybe about in the last 3 years or so, to do a series of concerts. And then earlier this year they played what they announced would be their final gig. So no sooner are they reformed than they're... Anyway, I was determined to catch their farewell gig. They played it in a venue here in Cork called Cypress Avenue. Yeah, so yeah, their very final gig. They played a lot of tracks from this album. The audience mainly consisted of kind of guys like myself, middle-aged, kind of balding people. But anyway, yeah, it was great to see them. For because I was too young to see them back in the day, in their 80s heyday. So yes, that's Micro Disney. That's the first act. Yeah, second up, a person who's, yeah, he's been in the news a lot for the wrong reasons lately, with his controversial utterances, and that is Morrissey. Yeah, I'm a huge Smiths fan. When it comes to his solo stuff, I like his first few albums, but I think I'm not that enamored on his more recent output. But this is a superb album. Viva Hate, which came out in 1988. Yeah, so I saw him, Morrissey, solo here in Cork in 2008, 11 years ago. Part of a series of concerts here. It's this annual series of concerts that have been going on here since the mid-noughties, live at the Marquee. Yeah, so he was actually supported by the New York Dolls. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. He played some Smith songs. Yeah, but again, as I said, he's always had kind of odd kind of views, but he's really kind of gone down the whole right-wing kind of alt-right route lately. But you know, I still, you know, yeah, okay. Let's move on. Morrissey, yeah. The same year, and also as part of the same series of concerts live in the Marquee, 2008, I saw Lou Reed. Yes, very lucky to have caught him live. He didn't play it well. I don't think he played anything. It was basically his follow-up album that, well, no, it wasn't follow-up, was it? Yeah, Berlin. Um, Berlin. He was playing that album in its entirety. Um, so yeah, saw him. There was a kind of, it was accompanied by it was kind of audio visual kind of show. Yeah, it was. I'd really rank it up there with one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I consider myself extremely lucky to have seen him live, and little did anyone know that within about 5 years he would be gone. But yes, so that was Lou Reed. That's one, two. I mean, that's three. Yeah. Now, in 1995, I went to this three-day festival here in Cork, which I think had a lineup which is seldom, which just hasn't been bettered. I think in this city. Okay. Fourth act, the Stone Roses. Yeah, I caught them live. Maybe about 6 months or so before they split up. I would like to say that they were fantastic, but they weren't great. They were pretty disappointing. I saw a load of bands that weekend. I actually saw Blur. Blur played there as well. I'm not the biggest Blur fan, but Blur were superb. The Stone Roses, by contrast, were quite mediocre. They were kind of they didn't have Rennie. Rennie had left at this stage, but the other three of the original lineup were all there. I'm glad to say that I saw them with their full original lineup back in the day. But yeah, they were a bit of a letdown. A lot of people who were there do agree, as well. Anyone I've spoken to who saw them that day. That was a festival called Fela. It's kind of the festival that ran in the first half of the 90s. It actually when it originally started, it was in a place called Tipperary, and was called a Trip to Tip. In 1995, I think local residents in Tipperary were kind of not too keen on the kind of annual invasion of concert goers, so they moved it to Cork this particular year. I also, over those 3 nights, saw where are we? Yes, the Orb. And that was one of the highlights of that weekend for me. They were absolutely fantastic. These are the only 2 vinyl items by them that I have. This is their album Pomfret from 1994, and this is 12-inch Blue Room. But yeah, they were absolutely mind-blowing. That was just one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life. The Orb here in Cork in 1995. And yeah. Who else did I see? There was loads and loads of other acts that I saw but I wouldn't be able to fit them all in. Moving on a bit, how many is that now? I've lost count. Yeah, I didn't see Can live, but I did see Damo Suzuki. I've seen it twice here in Cork. First in 2010, and again last year. Solo show here in Cork, and I got him to sign my copy of Tago Mago. Yeah, it was kind of crazy, kind of improvisational show, doing those kind of quintessentially Damo Suzuki vocals that only he could do. And he went around at the end of the show and shook everybody by the hand, and afterwards I got him to sign my copy of Tago Mago by Can, which is, I'm not sure if it's the first pressing, but it's a fairly early German pressing. So that was nice. Roy Harper. Yeah, I got to see him live pretty recently as well here in Cork. 2 years ago, I think. Was it? Yeah. 2016, 2017. Yeah. Yeah, he actually lives. He lives here in County Cork. So I really had no excuse to not see him live up to now, because he plays quite a lot around here, and I finally got to catch him. I was there with my girlfriend, and she after the show, I really wanted to get him to sign this copy of Stormcock, which I had just purchased, reissue, and she was kind of but yeah, I did. There was a big queue of people that wanted to talk to him and get stuff signed, and I eventually, yeah, and he was superb. He was fantastic. Yes. John Cooper Clarke. I saw him live again here in Cork. I think it was 2013. Doing his spoken word. This is Snap Crackle and Bop from 1980. My copy. He didn't have any musical backing. It was just purely spoken word. He was kind of racing through some of the songs. They're not songs really, but pieces. But anyway, it kind of made up for it, because I met him backstage after. She had a couple of drinks with him. I got really, really drunk, and I got him to sign my copy of Snap, Crackle and Bop. Dave, God bless you, Dr. John, he wrote on the back. He was really, really drunk. Yeah, what a character. Yeah, The Fall, in the same venue, and I think it was also 2013. The Fall, I only got to see them once. Just the one time. They've played Cork a few times. They played in 1980, and obviously I was only 6 at the time, so I wasn't going to see them then. They played a few other times in the interim, and I didn't manage to catch them, but I did catch them the last time, The Fall, and Marquis Smith came to Cork, and that was 2013. This is all The Fall I have on vinyl. Didn't meet him or get him to sign anything, unfortunately. So, but I did get to see. It was an interesting experience. Marquis Smith himself was really, really drunk, and at one point he went backstage and was like singing from backstage. So it was kind of mad, you know. Marquis, as you'd expect from Marquis Smith. Yeah. So sadly he passed away last year. So sorry. This is also another Fall item on vinyl that I have. Yep. How many more do I have to go? Yes, just one more, I think. Sorry, This is really, I just did this on a complete whim, so apologies for being so disorganized. Yes, I'll finish up number 10, Ginger Baker. I saw Ginger Baker again here in Cork with Ben Costello of the VC in 2014. Funnily enough, it was the day after Jack Bruce died. Just the day after his former bandmate in Cream. So yeah, he paid a tribute to Jack Bruce. He was calling him, referring to him, Little Jack. But yeah, this was for sale. This compilation album during the concert. I didn't actually buy it at the concert because I didn't have the money. But I managed to pick up a second-hand copy, and each of these were signed by Ginger Baker. So I picked up the second-hand copy for less than what it was at the concert. So that was. But anyway, yeah, it was during the Cork Jazz Festival, so it was all jazz, and it was he's just really doing what he does best, as a jazz drummer. Ginger Baker, he had to be literally helped into his drum kit onto the stage, like very frail. But once he got behind once he got playing, yeah, he was just absolutely amazing. This Ginger Baker with Fela Kuti. I think that's everything. Yeah, so 10 acts. That's 10 acts or bands you've seen live. I hope you enjoyed it, and everybody have a great weekend.